Hi. Cassandra syndrome is very annoying. It really sucks. Let's talk about what it is exactly. So, I have a definition from psychiatrist.com. My focus is for the neurotypical. Cassandra syndrome causes anger and frustration in autism relationships. Neurotypical partners of individuals with undiagnosed autism often experiences Cassandra syndrome, where their relationship concerns are disbelieved. The key word here is undiagnosed. That's when it really comes to play with Cassandra syndrome, because you may be in a relationship for many, many years thinking you're the crazy one, and it's actually him with undiagnosed autism. I have a manuscript. I'm waiting for the cover. It's called Lonely in Truth. What I'm going to do is give you an inside look. It is a book of stories of women and what they experience. One of the first stories, the focus is Cassandra syndrome, is April's story. It's right in the beginning. She says, Bruce and I had kids. Her husband, his name's Bruce. He had little involvement in everyday child rearing. During dinners with the family, when conversing around the table, Bruce took off to watch television because he said he'd already heard what everybody had been saying. There's a glimpse of Faye's story. She says, not only was he gaslighting me constantly throughout our marriage, but I was gaslighting myself. I was somehow trying to make all this okay. I hear you, Faye. I so wanted it to be okay and work out well in the end. I wasn't prepared to give up hope. Author's note here. It's not unusual for women in our position to gaslight ourselves into believing the insanity that is our life with these men. After a difficult conversation with them, we believe we are not thinking right about our own ideas and values. We understand why we are Cassandras, even living it. Sometimes we doubt until it is too late and we've given up so much of ourselves to endure the abuse. Okay, trigger word, abuse. Whether it is meant or not, it does harm us in that way. So we go to Anna's story, a glimpse into her story. Then one day everything changed. Someone believed me. A lady I met at work believed me and did not dismiss my concerns as typical marriage issues. We were both working in a school and often spent our breaks talking about our families. We were supposed to meet for coffee after work, but I forgot to ask my husband about childcare because we'd had an argument. I told this woman about it, and she, for some reason, wanted to know more details regarding our communication. After I described our typical conversation, she asked me, do you think your husband might be on the autism spectrum? I replied that I had never thought about that and could not imagine it, but was open to further investigation. I went home, did some Googling about challenging neurodiverse marriages, and cried for the rest of the afternoon. Finally, I felt believed and validated. Always chokes me up. Okay. Megan's story. My story of dating an autistic man was a roller coaster experience, starting off as love and ending up as a gaping wound. It shook up my mental and physical health, but I have healed immensely. I have healed by meeting others who have faced similar situations. Being believed and validated is the most healing. I cherish the freedom I have in my new life without him. Tatiana said, I spent months reading everything I could, even things many therapists don't know about. Despite the pain and hurt, I wanted answers. I wanted to understand. Next, I have a story from Mark. He was diagnosed late in life with autism, mild. He says, here's the thing about neurodivergence that nobody tells you. Every minute in which a neurotypical person feels great, wonderful, fun, or normal with us is the result of tremendous masking on our part. We hide who we are because we've been told thousands of times that nobody would like us if we didn't. We're like Scotty in the Starship Enterprise's engine in Star Trek, working hard behind the scenes to respond to the captain's society's commands. However, like the Starship Enterprise, when we activate our deflector shields for too long and the direct and indirect hits keep coming, our engine room can't keep the shields up while moving the ship. So the shields drop and the next hit, no matter how small and insignificant it seems to you, causes a complete collapse. Then our life support systems kick in and we cannot be normal for even one more second. Okay, this is something I wrote in the book. I said, why did this happen? Gil is a successful grown man. That is my person. It's completely nuts to be so involved in figuring out another person. It seems very codependent, victim-minded, or controlling. Cassandras often lose themselves in their autistic men because when the outside world tells us we are crazy, we may begin to believe it because our daily life is filled with put-downs, letdowns, promises never kept, and us never doing anything right. That's the truth. I wanted to give a glimpse into the lives of different women. It took a lot to tell their stories, and I know that, and I appreciate them, and it'll be out soon. Hit that subscribe button if this meant something to you, and give a like. Please give a comment. I'd love to hear any comments you might have. And again, this is a troubling thing that needs to be discussed. Maybe the world will finally believe us. Take care of yourself.